Hi, I'm Kendall. I never thought my own family would nearly kill me, but that's exactly what happened 3 months ago when my brother Tyler disconnected my life support machine to charge his phone. Yeah, you read that right. I'd been hospitalized after a serious car accident that left me in a medically induced coma. I was supposed to be waking up that day. The doctors had started reducing my sedation. What I didn't know was that my darling brother was more concerned about his battery percentage than my life. Kendall? Kendall, can you hear me? Dr. Rivera's voice was the first thing I registered as I slowly regained consciousness. What happened? My throat felt like sandpaper. There was an incident with your life support equipment. Your vitals dropped suddenly, but we were able to stabilize you. She checked my monitors, her face serious. What kind of incident? Something about her careful tone set off alarm bells. Dr. Rivera hesitated. I think that's something your family should discuss with you. A nurse named Marco entered, his eyes widening when he saw me awake. You're back with us. That's fantastic news. Marco, right? I remembered his voice from when I was drifting in and out. Do you know what happened to me? He exchanged glances with Dr. Rivera before saying, I was the one who responded to your alarm. When I came in, your brother was plugging his phone into the outlet that your ventilator was using. He what? I tried to sit up, but immediately felt dizzy. Easy now. Dr. Rivera gently pushed me back. Your body's been through a lot. Where is Tyler? And my mom? My hands were shaking. They're in the waiting room. We asked them to step out while we assessed you. My brother unplugged my life support and my mom just let him? The words didn't sound real coming out of my mouth. Marco shifted uncomfortably. From what I observed when I rushed in, your mother was sitting there scrolling through her phone. She didn't seem particularly concerned. Did anybody call the police? I demanded. Hospital security filed a report, Dr. Rivera said. But since you're recovered, it would be up to you to press charges. Recovered? I could have died. My voice was getting stronger with each word. I know this is a lot to process, Dr. Rivera said, making notes in my chart. Your friend Zoe has been calling every day. Would you like us to let her know you're awake? Yes, please. And my Aunt Claire. I took a deep breath. But I don't want to see Tyler or my mom. Not yet. I understand. Dr. Rivera nodded. We can arrange that. Marco checked my IV. For what it's worth, when I confronted your brother, he just said, it was only for a minute. Chill out. Your mom told me accidents happen. I felt my blood pressure rising. An accident is spilling milk. He unplugged my life support. That's what I said. Marco agreed, his face animated. I've been a nurse for 12 years, and I've never seen anything like it. Dr. Rivera placed a gentle hand on my arm. Rest now. We'll make sure they don't come in. As they left, I stared at the ceiling, the full weight of what happened sinking in. My own brother had risked my life for a phone charge, and my mother had watched him do it. This wasn't just negligence. It was a betrayal I couldn't forgive. 3 days later, I was sitting up in bed when Zoe burst into my room, her curly hair bouncing with each step. Oh my God, Ken, I can't believe what happened. She rushed to hug me, careful of the tubes still attached to my arms. Neither can I said, squeezing her hand. Have you heard from Tyler or Mom? They've been telling everyone it was just a misunderstanding. Zoe rolled her eyes. Your mom called me yesterday trying to get me to convince you to drop it. Drop it? I nearly died. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I told her exactly that. Zoe pulled up a chair. But you know how your mom is with Tyler. He's her precious baby boy who can do no wrong. My Aunt Claire walked in, bringing a wave of her signature perfume. Unlike my mother's perpetual yoga pants, Claire was dressed impeccably in a blazer and slacks. Kendall, sweetheart. She kissed my cheek. I've spoken with the hospital administration and reviewed the incident report. What did it say? I asked, sitting up straighter. It confirms everything. Tyler unplugged your ventilator to charge his phone. The alarm went off, but it took 3 minutes before the nurse arrived because your mother didn't call for help. 3 minutes? Zoe gasped. That's insane. What's insane is that they're trying to minimize it, Claire said, her voice tight with anger. I ran into your mother in the parking lot. Want to know what she said? I'm almost afraid to ask, I muttered. She said, and I quote, Kendall's always been dramatic. Tyler didn't know what he was unplugging. That's complete garbage! Zoe jumped up. The ventilator has warning labels all over it. That's what I said, Claire nodded. Then she had the nerve to tell me to stay out of family business. A knock at the door interrupted us. Detective Ramirez entered, notebook in hand. Miss Carter? I'm Detective Ramirez. Do you feel up to answering some questions about the incident? Absolutely, I said, determined. The hospital reported possible criminal negligence. Can you tell me what you remember? I was in a coma, so nothing directly, I explained. But the nurse told me he walked in and found my brother using my ventilator's outlet to charge his phone. And your mother was present? Yes, just watching, not helping. Detective Ramirez nodded, taking notes. I spoke with both of them. Your brother claims he didn't realize the importance of the machine. That's ridiculous, Claire interjected. He's 22 years old, not a child. Exactly, I agreed. And even if that were true, which it isn't, when the alarm started going off, why didn't he plug it back in? Why didn't my mom do something? That's what concerns us, Detective Ramirez said. The continued inaction once the alarm sounded suggests more than momentary carelessness. My brother and I have never gotten along, I admitted, but this crosses every line. He almost killed you, Ken, Zoe said, squeezing my hand. And they're acting like you're overreacting. I want to press charges, I said firmly, against both of them. Detective Ramirez nodded. Given the evidence, we have grounds for criminal negligence at minimum, possibly attempted manslaughter. Manslaughter? I hadn't gone that far in my thinking. When someone disconnects life support, knowing its purpose, there's an argument for intent, he explained. I'm a civil attorney, Claire added. And while I can't represent you in a criminal case, I can help you find someone who will. We can also pursue a civil case for damages. As they discussed legal options, I felt a strange sense of calm settling over me. For years, Tyler had gotten away with everything while my mom enabled him. This time, they'd gone too far, and they were finally going to face consequences. A week later, I was discharged from the hospital. Claire insisted I stay with her rather than return to my apartment where Tyler might show up. We were discussing my upcoming police statement when my phone rang. Tyler. After declining 6 calls, I finally answered the 7th. What do you want? My voice was ice cold. Kendall, you need to drop this. Tyler's voice had that familiar, irritated tone, like I was inconveniencing him. It was just a mistake. A mistake? You unplugged my life support, Tyler. I didn't know what it was, and it was only for like a minute. 3 minutes. I could have died. The doctors said if Marco hadn't responded so quickly, I might have suffered brain damage. You're fine though, right? So what's the problem? He sounded genuinely confused. The problem is you almost killed me. I was practically shouting now. That's so dramatic. Mom said you're just doing this for attention. I laughed bitterly. Of course she did. Where is she anyway? Too cowardly to call herself? She's upset, Kendall. We both are. The police came to the house. They're talking about criminal charges. Good. Actions have consequences, Tyler. Finally. Come on, sis. His voice shifted to the wheedling tone he used when he wanted something. We're family. You can't do this to us. Family doesn't disconnect life support. Family doesn't sit there while alarms are blaring. Family doesn't... I'm sorry, okay? He interrupted. Is that what you want to hear? I'm sorry. No, you're not, I said quietly. You're sorry you might face consequences. There's a difference. Kendall, please. His voice cracked. I could go to jail. Maybe you should have thought about that before unplugging my ventilator. It was a mistake. I said I'm sorry. What more do you want? Justice, I said simply. Mom's a wreck. She could lose her job if this gets out. I almost lost my life. I don't care. You've always been so self-centered, he snapped, his fake remorse evaporating. One little incident and you're trying to ruin our lives. Little incident? I repeated incredulously. You know what, Tyler? I'm done talking to you. Wait, just listen. No, you listen. I'm pressing charges, full charges, against both of you. And I'm filing a civil suit. I'm going to make sure everyone knows exactly what you did. You vindictive bitch! Tyler exploded. You think you can threaten me? I should have pulled the plug completely. I froze, Claire's head snapping up at his words. Did you just threaten me again? I asked, putting the phone on speaker. You heard me? You've always been nothing but a problem. Maybe next time I'll finish the job. Claire quickly grabbed her phone, recording his tirade. Are you threatening my life, Tyler? Just to be clear, I'm saying you better watch your back. Drop the charges or you'll regret it. Is that a threat? Take it however you want. But if I go down for this, I'm taking you with me. I ended the call, hands shaking. Well, Claire said, stopping her recording. I think we just added witness intimidation and death threats to the charges. I nodded, still processing his words. He actually meant it. He would have let me die. And now we have proof, Claire said grimly. I'm calling Detective Ramirez right now. As she dialed, I sat there stunned. The brother I grew up with had just threatened to finish the job. Any lingering doubt about pressing charges vanished in that moment. 6 months later, I sat in the courtroom as the judge prepared to announce the verdict. The trial had been grueling, with my mother and brother portraying themselves as victims of a misunderstanding. But the evidence was overwhelming. Hospital records, witness testimonies, and most damning of all, Tyler's recorded threats. All rise, the bailiff announced as the judge entered. After we were seated, the judge cleared his throat. In the case of State v. Tyler Carter, on the count of criminal negligence, the court finds the defendant guilty. On the count of witness intimidation, guilty. I exhaled slowly, squeezing Zoe's hand beside me. Tyler Carter, please rise for sentencing. Tyler stood, his face pale. The court sentences you to 4 years in state prison, with the possibility of parole after serving 2 years. Additionally, you will have a permanent restraining order prohibiting contact with Kendall Carter. My mother gasped from the gallery. Tyler's shoulders slumped as the reality hit him. As for Helen Carter, the judge continued, addressing my mother, the court finds you guilty of criminal negligence and accessory after the fact. You are sentenced to 18 months in prison, with the possibility of parole after 9 months. Outside the courthouse, reporters gathered around us. Kendall, how do you feel about the verdict? One asked, microphone extended. I feel justice was served, I said calmly. This case was never about revenge, it was about accountability. Later that evening, Marco, Dr. Rivera, Zoe, Claire, and I gathered at Claire's house. I still can't believe your mom tried to blame the hospital, Marco said, shaking his head. Claiming we didn't properly explain the equipment? That backfired spectacularly when they showed the security footage, Dr. Rivera added. You could clearly see her watching Tyler unplug the ventilator. The civil judgment was the cherry on top, Claire smiled. The settlement will cover all your medical bills plus damages. And therapy, Zoe added. Lots of therapy. I keep thinking about Tyler's face when they led him away, I admitted. Part of me expected to feel, I don't know, sad. But I didn't. That's because you did the right thing, Claire assured me. Some people think family means unconditional forgiveness, but it doesn't. Not for something like this. Have you thought about what you'll do next? Dr. Rivera asked. I'm starting law school in the fall, I said. Claire's been a huge inspiration. I want to help people who've been victims of family violence. It's more common than people realize. To new beginnings, Zoe raised her glass. As we toasted, I felt a weight lifting. The family I was born into had betrayed me in the worst possible way, but the family I'd chosen, these people around me, they had stood by me when it mattered most. Do you ever wonder, Marco asked hesitantly, if you'll ever speak to them again, after they serve their time? I considered this for a moment. Some bridges once burned should stay that way, don't you think? What would you do if someone you trusted betrayed you so completely? Would you have pressed charges against your own family? Let me know in the comments below.